Hello and welcome back to my channel. So we're going to kick off straight with this list again then. So at 23 we've got Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception on the PS3. Now this came out in 2011 and it just took the series again to new heights. Not so much with the multiplayer mode, because I thought the number 2 mode was better, but it just advanced the Drake story a little bit more. I mentioned before in this series of videos that Drake is one of those characters that you fall in love with when you play computer games, and in number 3 it sort of takes you back to the early Drake days, you know, in his childhood when he first meets Sully and stuff. So it was really good in that sense. You got to know a bit more about this hero. It wasn't just another action adventure thrown together on the PlayStation 3 for you to try. It was something well thought out and well made, and that's why I think I liked it so much. Out of all the sort of AAA Drake games, this is the worst one, but don't think it's bad at all. It's fucking brilliant and better than, you know, all the games that I've just reviewed on this list anyway so far. So it's a brilliant game, and if you've never tried the Drake series, now would be a good time to try, because you can get all of the original 3 Drake games on the PS4 now. So give them a try. Number 22. We got Rollercoaster Tycoon 3 on Windows, which came out in 2004. Now this game I spent, God, about 500 hours on it, no word of a lie. Once I found out that you could put your own music into it, that was it. I was going. I played this game until my computer at the time couldn't handle it anymore, and it just took, you know, 15 years to load up. So I smashed the shit out of this game, especially when they released all the add-on packs, all the DLCs, like I can't remember what it was called now, but there was like a water world one where you could build all these crazy swimming pools and diving boards, and you could, you know, transition from one pool to the next pool. It was crazy, man. And all the dinosaur parks in it as well, the zoo and dinosaurs I think you had in this one. And I think that the zoo in this is better than the zoo in Zoo Tycoon. So this game had loads going for it. And just the way that you made the roller coasters as well, it was just so far improved from number 2, which came out a few years before. Number 2 just didn't make my top 100 because I played that a shitload as well. But this one just, you know, it tore it a new arsehole basically. It's fucking brilliant. It's just a shame now that the Rollercoaster Tycoon series is where it is. I played Rollercoaster Tycoon World, but I really don't know what the fuck they're doing with that thing. So yeah, this is the best one. So at 21 then we have Fire Emblem, The Sacred Stones. Now, this came out on the Game Boy Advance in 2005. I didn't play it in 2005, I played it a bit later on because I didn't find out about these games until I actually got hold of a Nintendo DS. So that's when I first played it, because it had the Game Boy Advance slot on it, so you could play those games as well, and they were a little bit cheaper as well than the DS games at the time, so I'd got my hands on this, and yeah, it was my first ever Fire Emblem. And it introduced me to, you know, the turn-based grid system that I'd never seen before, and that it was just an amazing mechanic. And to see the sort of the little screens that play through when you actually make a hit on somebody, it was really cool. And it also introduced me to permadeath as well, that I'd never seen before in a game. And yeah, it made me do a few restarts because I actually didn't understand it at first. I was like, well, he's gone forever. Restart. So yeah, that's why this game's so high on this list. So hitting, yeah, I'm going to be moving on to the 20s now, so yeah. Okay, top 20 then. So at 20 we got Tyrion. Now this came out on DOS in 1995, and I only had a few DOS games, and this was one of the best actually. I spent time and time again just going through this game. I think I only had like a demo version or something like that, thinking about it now, because I have played it since, but looking back I think I used to get to a certain level and then it used to go sort of back to the start, but you could keep all your ship upgrades and stuff like that, so that was wicked, man. So you used to go through the level, get loads of points, spend them on ship upgrades, you know, new engine, new actual ship model, new bullets, and new kinds of weapons and extra ships that follow you around. It was fucking awesome. It was just one of them games that introduced me to like progression and the way you could do it your way and build your ship your way. The only game I sort of played like that before was a game called Fantasy Zone on the Master System, and you couldn't choose how you progressed in that game at all. You just picked up things as you went. But this was instead of being a side scroller, it was the top down scroller, and yeah, it was such a good game. If you've never played it, try it, because you could probably pick it up for Windows now. You know, you could probably download it online on Shareware or something like that, I reckon. Yeah, give it a go. It's really good. So at 19, we've got The Last of Us. Now, this came out on the PS3 in 2013. Now, The Last of Us is one of those games that sets a standard for computer games, because when you play this game, it drags you in. You are part of that story. You care about these guys that you're controlling, and you want them to do well. You want them to survive, and you want them to get through and, you know, complete the task that they need to do. I don't want to give away too much in this, you know, short review, because anyone who out there hasn't played the game watching this vid, I don't want to spoil it for you. Just go and play that fucking game, because it grips you from the very beginning. It's so impacting. And it's made by the guys who made Uncharted and Crash Bandicoot, which are two awesome franchises in their own right. And Uncharted, you know, makes it quite high on this list. But The Last of Us is very impacting. It's got a completely different kind of zombie in it. I don't even think they use the word zombie in that game. It's like a sort of mushroom sort of virus. It's awesome. It's new. It's a good take on that post-apocalyptic world. I can't even talk right now just thinking about that game. It's so good. Yeah, give that one a go, please, because it's on the PS4 now, so it's got a massive remaster that I haven't even tried. So yeah, moving on. Now, 18, we got Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, Director's Cut on the Wii. Now, this came out in 2009, but I first played Broken Sword on the PlayStation 1 or PSX. I can't remember what year that came out exactly, but that to me was the first sort of adventure game that I really fucking fell in love with. Did play Monkey Island 2 quite a lot, but Broken Sword just knocked it out of the water. He plays this guy called George Stobart, you know, and he sort of narrates his own story through the game, and he's got a partner that you always talk to called Nico, and they're just trying to solve this sort of murder case, this bomb at a cafe that went off. Oh, it's so good. It's got such a good story. I fell in love with this game. Me and my friend Dale played this game without a memory card, so we just kept his PlayStation on for like, I don't know, about 2 weeks. I think it took us to get through it. It was so brilliant. The goat is what took us so long, I think. Jesus Christ, and getting that dripping wet towel all the way back after. Yeah, that was the hardest part, but the game is so good. It's timeless, this game. I'm going to go back and play it one more time. I don't have it on the Wii anymore. I don't have my Wii, but I'm going to go and get the Director's Cut on Windows and play through it again. So yeah, give it a go if you've never tried that one, because that one's fucking awesome. 17, then we got Pokemon Diamond, which came out on the DS in 2007. Now, I spent hours and hours and hours and hours on this game because the DS was quite new to me at the time, and I didn't have that many games for it, and this one was one of them. And I'd never really sort of got into a Pokemon game before. I never played Red, Blue or Yellow while I was at school, and I didn't really have a Game Boy Advance, so I really didn't play any of the others hardly at all. I watched others play them, so this was my first sort of Pokemon adventure for real. And I got what it was all about, you know, collecting all the pokes and stuff, and I got it, man. And the way you battled, you know, the turn-based system like Final Fantasy style, that was kind of cool as well. But what I like to do, you know, I like to get them all. You know, the game was to catch them all, so say you got a Pidgeot or something like that, I would have a Pidgeot, a Pidgeotto and a Pidgey. all at, you know, their maximum level, because I just like to play that way. And you know, because I played that way, it cost me a lot of time, which I really enjoyed, you know, just running through the grass, smashing up the pokes. And yeah, nowadays I don't play a Pokemon game for what it is, because I spent so long on that one. I've played Black, but I play it with the cheats now. I don't want to spend ages running through the grass. I still collect all of the Pokemon, you know, every 3 stages, but I put, you know, 4 times XP or 8 times XP or something like that on, just to speed it up. So yeah, if you're a Pokemon fan, give Diamond a look, because that was a banging one. So at 16, we've got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 on the PS2. Now this came out in 2001, and it was one of those games that you just never put down. Once you switch it on, you don't switch it off. You know, you can unlock Darth Maul as well, so it's got a little nod to Star Wars in there. And we all know I love Star Wars too. So it was just a game full of content, basically, and updated graphics, updated gameplay. It was more smooth. It was the first one on the PS2. So it just took the Tony Hawk's franchise and just gave us the game that we wanted on the next consoles. They didn't really add much else, you know, or special moves or anything like that. There was just new levels, like the cruise ship and the airport. They were sort of some of the best levels in the whole Tony Hawk series. So that's why it's going so high on this list. I know I'm not saying that much about it. It's basically, this game's going so high on this list because the amount of time I put into it. Because they're all such good games, these Tony Hawk's games. 15 then, we've got WWE Smackdown Here Comes the Pain on the PS2 that come out in 2003. Now this is the last Smackdown game that's going to appear on this list, and it's the best one because it's the one I had most fun with, actually. You know, it introduced the elimination chamber, so me and my friends would just jump in there and we'd just do that match over and over and over again. You know, and the Royal Rumble was really good as well. You didn't have those stupid loading times anymore. It was just good now, you know. Wrestling was going back. It was going in the right direction. You also had, like, I think about, like, 60 characters on the roster as well to choose from. And they were all sort of, all the guys that you liked from the series at the time. It was just good. It was a good fucking game. And the second best sports game of all time. So, yeah, we're going to move on now. At 14 then, we've got Fire Emblem, Radiant Dawn on the Wii. Now this came out in 2008, and it's just one of those games that has an amazing story, and it just grips you from the very beginning, and it keeps surprising you all the way through the story. Numerous times, looking back on that game now, I think numerous times I thought, yeah, I've completed it. But no, you haven't. There's more and more and more. And you don't just control one person either, or one set of people. You go through the game at 3 different angles from 3 different perspectives. You know, it was doing what GTA 5 did now ages ago. It was fucking awesome, man. That game and all the Fire Emblems that I played before it, man, they're so special. It was the first series, I mentioned this before, it was the first series that introduced the permadeath to me as well. So you play really carefully and you get attached to these characters, and you really don't want them to fucking die, man. You want them to go all the way and, you know, evolve into the next character or set, whatever it is. That was another thing about the game as well, the way the players evolved into the next level. It was so cool, man. I think my first playthrough, took me about 76 hours just to get through the story, and that to me is awesome, man. It's hard for games now to make a campaign that goes on for that long. Sorry, that's my phone going off in the background there. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next game now, because I think I've given this one enough praise. Actually, let's end the video there, and I'll catch you next time.